I have to kill Ernest. Today is the day. I have to kill Ernest. Today's the day. No more Ernest. Lane! Did you hear me playing?
I didn't think it polite to listen, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry for that. For your sake, of course. I don't play accurately. Anyone can play accurately. But I play with a wonderful sentiment. As far as the piano is concerned, sentiment is my forte. I keep signs for life. And speaking of the sciences of life, have you got those cucumber sandwiches ready for Lady Bracknell? Yes, sir. That will do. Thank you. Lane's views on marriage, they do seem somewhat lax. Really? If the lower orders don't set a good example, then what on earth is the use of them? They seem as class to lack absolutely any sense of moral responsibility. My dear Ernest, what brings you to set? What brings you to set, my friend? Oh, pleasure, pleasure. What else should bring anyone anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, LG. I believe it customary in good society to give oneself a slight refreshment every day at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since last Thursday? I have a life outside of set. Outside of the set? In the world? What on earth do you do there? Still amuse. Uh-huh. And who might you amuse? Oh. Everybody. Oh yes, and how immensely you amuse them. Oh. You know, I'd say a little birdie told me, but it was the director. You are the reason our ratings are sky high. The reason I can't walk through the street without being bombarded with love and affection, admiration, gifts, pleasure. I don't want to be Ernest anymore. Really. You are Ernest. Everyone calls you Ernest. You act as Ernest. I've introduced you to everyone I know as the Ernest. You answer to the name of Ernest. You look as if your name was Ernest. You are the most earnest-looking person I have ever seen in my life. It's perfectly absurd. You're saying that your name isn't Ernest. It's on your cards. Here is one of them. I'll keep this as proof that your name is Ernest if you ever attempt to deny it to me, or to Gwendolyn, or to anyone else. My name is Jack! Oh. La la la, I have a boyfriend and his name is Ernest. La 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 la, ooh, his name's Ernest. Oh, why, hello Ernest. Charming day it's been, Miss Fairfax. You know, I hate it when people talk to me about the weather. Whenever they talk about the weather, I always feel like they're talking about something else. That makes me so nervous. True, I do mean something else. I thought so. In fact, I'm never wrong. Well, I would like to be allowed to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence. I would certainly advise you to do so. You know, Mama always has a way of coming back suddenly into a room that I have so often had to speak to her about. Miss Fairfax, I have always admired you more than any other girl in this world. From the moment I met you, I've admired you. Yes, I'm quite well aware of that fact. Although, I often wish that, at any rate, in public, you had been more demonstrative. For me, you always had the most irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals. The fact is constantly mentioned in the more expensive monthly magazines, and has reached the provincial pulpits, I'm told. And my ideal has always been to love someone of the name of Ernest. There's something in that name that just inspires absolute confidence. The moment Algernon first mentioned that to me, he had a friend called Ernest, I knew I was destined to love you. You really love me, Gwendolyn? Oh, passionately. Oh, darling, you don't know how happy you've made me. My own Ernest. But you don't really mean to say that you can love me if I wasn't Ernest. But your name is Ernest. Well, on screen, yes, I know it's Ernest, but supposing it was something else entirely. Do you really mean you could not love me then? That is clearly a metaphysical speculation. And like most metaphysical speculations, it has very little reference at all to the actual facts of life, as we know them. Personally, darling, to speak quite candidly, I don't much care for the name of Ernest. I don't care much for it at all, actually. It suits you perfectly. It's a divine name. It has music of its own. In fact, it produces vibrations. Well, yes, I seem to think there are many much nicer names than Ernest. I think Jack, for example, is a good name. Jack? No, there's very little music in the name Jack. If any at all, indeed. It does not thrill. It produces absolutely no vibrations. I have known several Jacks, and they all, without exception, were more than usually plain. Besides, Jack is a notorious euphemism for John, and I pity any woman who's married to a man called John. She'd probably never be allowed to know the entrancing pleasure of a single moment's solitude. You know, I'll name a really safe name. There is only one. Ernest. Gwendolyn, I must get christened at once. I mean, we must get married at once. There is no time to be lost. Married, Mr. Worthing? Well, surely. You know that I love you, and you have led me to believe, Miss Fairfax, that you are not all indifferent to me. Oh, I adore you. But you haven't proposed to me yet. Nothing has been said at all about marriage. The subject's not even been touched on. Well, may I propose to you now? I think it would be a most admirable opportunity. And to spare you any disappointment, Mr. Worthing, I think it only fair to tell you that I am fully determined to accept. Gwendolyn. Yes, Mr. Worthing? What have you got to say to me? You know what I've got to say to you. Yes, but you haven't said it. Gwendolyn, will you marry me? By the way, did you tell Gwendolyn the truth about your not really being Ernest? Ernest is a name, a character. Jack is a disappointing reality. My dear fellow. Oh, the truth is not quite the sort of thing one tells a nice, sweet, refined girl. Oh, what extraordinary ideas you have about the way to behave to a woman. So, what about this character? What about the infamous Ernest? Toward the end of the week, I shall get rid of him. There will be no more Ernest. I'm going to quit. I'll say I'm too sick to continue the role. You were. I do recall you said that, and we know that. Much of the world is far too interested in your character, Ernest. They will feel this loss a great deal. That is true indeed. Mr. Director, sir? I quit. Not Ernest. I was never Ernest. Goodbye. Yes, not Ernest. I've called you here because I was determined to accept an engagement to Ernest, to marry Ernest. Not a plain John.